Call the Broken Arrow City Council meeting to order. Roll call. I'm so sorry. Pastor Rich, will you join us and pray over the meeting, please? So sorry.
Oh, Lord, we just pray for your joy to fill this city council. It's a joy to be servants. And Father, we pray that the joy of the Lord would be their strength. And Lord, all the decisions that comes before this council tonight, may they feel and sense the peace of God ruling and reigning within their hearts on how to make these decisions. We thank you that you are the God that gives wisdom and understanding. So, Father, we pray for your joy. We thank you for this city and all the accomplishments. We thank you for the recognition that this city has in the U.S., and Father, we pray for your protection over the city, over our police and fire. We pray over our counselors and the city manager. Your protection and your grace. Multiply it, Lord. In the name of your Son, amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Hey,
Thank
be
you.
blessed.
Thank you. Okay, now roll call.
Pickle.
Here.
Green. Here. Ford.
Here.
Parks.
Here.
Wimpy.
Here. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any items other than item W to be tabled or removed from the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda minus item W.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, roll call.
Oh. Oh, I don't, there we go. It says you have a motion, someone clicked it.
Who seconded?
David.
There we go.
Okay, now it is.
What's it doing?
All right, item W on the consent agenda is approve and authorize execution of a 3-year promotional license agreement with Scott Fest, Inc., including participation and cost sharing of shuttle services to be utilized at Scott Fest 2025. I believe Councilor Ford might have pulled.
Yeah, I pulled item W so it can go to, in front of the tourism board and then come to us.
Okay.
That'll happen at a special meeting on July 1st and then actually bring it back for council consideration on July 14th.
So it's table for tonight then?
Yes, sir.
Do we need to make a motion to table it, or was that part of the original?
You could just make the announcement that you're tabling it.
Okay, so it'll be tabled until such time. All right, item 7, public hearings, appeals, presentations, recognitions, and awards. Item 7A, recognition of sports broadcaster Tyler Jones. Councilor Ford.
Okay, so Tyler, I'm going to embarrass you, so do you want to come on down so everyone can stare at you while I read this awesome bio of you? So Tyler and I met at the OU Texas game. He actually sat right next to me, so I put him closer to the Longhorns than what I wanted to sit. and then it was just like not even, it didn't seem like 2 weeks after that, I read about him in a half-page paper in it's called Biskirk, it's our Choctaw newspaper that we get, and I'm like, well, I know Tyler. I sat right next to him. So he's Lisa's son, Lisa Jones's son. Not that that matters, and not that that made him get this, what I want to recognize him. But when I read the article in the newspaper, I was so impressed. And he's went to Broken Arrow High School. Were you born in Broken Arrow as well?
No.
Okay, but you graduated from Broken Arrow High School, not in Deborah Wimpy's class. Even though everyone else is in Deborah
Everyone
Wimpy's
else was in my class.
So I'm just going to read a little bit so you all know why I was so impressed with him, and you'll be impressed with him as well. In recognition of your exceptional achievements and unwavering dedication as a sports broadcaster and storyteller, from your humble beginnings in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, to becoming a national voice for major NFL franchises and a champion for Native American athletes, your journey embodies passion, perseverance, and purpose. Through your work with Chat Sports, ndnsports.com, and numerous major sporting events, you have not only informed but inspired your advocacy for Native American representation in media and your commitment to telling stories that matter. make you not just a broadcaster, but a beacon of impact and integrity. With over a decade of sports coverage, I know he doesn't look that old, does he? With over a decade of sports coverage under your belt, you have reported on everything from NFL playoffs to other major sporting events like Daytona 500, PGA Championship, and several Final Fours, working with major networks like ESPN and Peacock. On behalf of the City Council of Broken Arrow, we're proud to honor you as a hometown hero.
You just did
I
that.
just said that.
Okay.
I made you a hometown hero. And thank you for using your platform to uplift others and represent our community with excellence. You're not just a guy with a microphone, you are a difference maker. So I'm going to read the little certificate, which is not near as long as what I wanted you all.
I just want to hear you speak.
Is that pretty impressive, huh? So in honor of Tyler Jones, sports broadcaster and NFL host who broadcast Journey began in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and who has made positive impact on his community. On behalf of the City Council of Broken Arrow, we proudly honor you as a hometown hero, and thank you for using your platform to uplift others and represent our community with excellence. You're not just a guy with a microphone, you are a difference maker.
Now we can clap.
This is a coin on behalf of the City Council. So I'm supposed to shake your hand and give that to you. There you go. There you go. Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Appreciate
Maybe we'll sit next together during the 30 test. Oh, you may want this.
Oh,
There you go.
thank you.
I just only heard a glimpse of his voice, but it sounds like he has a voice for.
I should have let him read it, shouldn't
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
I should have let him read it.
That's pretty cool.
I always think it's neat when someone from Broken Arrow,
Does something
does
outstanding
something
that's
really
yeah,
cool. Yes.
Yep. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Item B, presentation of local technical assistance program, road scholar certificates to streets and stormwater employees. Herbert Trey Moore, Philip Oliveira, Andrew Clegg, Daryl Hale, Stephen Heed, Jerry Waymeyer, and Robert Hanna. Tim Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, Vice Mayor, Council, Mr. Spurgeon. Thank you, and good evening. Tim Wilson, Director of Streets and Stormwater here, and every once in a while we get a chance to send our employees to training to get certified and become experts in what they do, and tonight we have an opportunity to recognize those folks that's completed some training, and it's like 112 hours of intense training to get to become a true expert. So rather than me tell you about all the program, we've got somebody from LTAP that's here. Her name's Samantha Shepard, and I'd like to ask her to come forward now, and she's going to present the guys with some certificates and talk about the program a little. And she also
Looks
left
like
cupcakes in the other room in there.
Oh,
And I
okay.
don't plan on taking any of them back, so please help yourself. So again, my name is Samantha Shepard. I'm here on behalf of the Local Technical Assistance Program at Oklahoma State University. It is my honor to represent a program that plays a vital role in supporting the education and advancement of our local, county, and tribal government personnel across the state. So today I'd like to recognize a group of dedicated individuals who have completed the Rhodes Scholar Program, an intensive certification series designed to strengthen the knowledge and skills of those responsible for maintaining and improving our local transportation systems. The program consists of 8 in-depth courses totaling 112 hours of classroom and hands-on training. These courses cover a wide range of topics, including roadway planning, construction, maintenance, and safety, ensuring that participants are equipped with the technical expertise necessary to serve their communities effectively. Completion of this program is no small accomplishment. It reflects a strong commitment to professional development and a deep investment in the infrastructure that supports our everyday lives. Please join me in congratulating these Rhodes Scholar graduates for their hard work and dedication to public service. So I have Jerry Waymeyer.
It's way fancier than a certificate.
Yes.
It's got your orange.
She's from OSU.
I'm not like him. I was waiting for a go Pokes, but I didn't hear it.
I also have Stephen Head. So here you go, Jerry.
Thank you.
Sure, so we can take a group
Hopefully
picture.
you have someone taking
Yeah, stand up
photos.
here, step, or get
I
some
came
front.
along,
Yeah.
okay,
Picture with
perfect,
you
perfect.
guys.
Steven,
Jerry.
okay. And I do have bubble wrap, you're more than welcome to take it to keep it nice.
Thank you.
Okay. And then I have Andrew Clegg. Congratulations. And I have Robert Hanna. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Then I have Philip Olvera. Thank you. Trey Moore. You know,
Sorry.
I learned I wasn't
Why'd
gonna
they
do
put
it.
that on here?
That's
I'm
messed
sorry,
up.
Trey. Sorry, Trey.
And then the final one is Daryl Held. He's not here, okay? Would you like to accept his award? Just, okay, perfect. All right. Well, congratulations, you guys, for your dedication to our program. We look forward to welcome you to Rhodes Scholar too, so.
Go Pokes.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, that was coming.
I was being patient.
You were being patient.
All right, here we go, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You know, I want to thank you guys too for coming, because I know at least 2 of you were in my neighborhood today doing our asphalt road, so thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you were all there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys for allowing me to come.
Absolutely, thank you. All right, item C, presentation and discussion of Safe Hotels Initiative, update by Chief Arnold. Looking forward to hearing about this. Or Officer Hill. Or both. Okay. He's a good delegator. Well, this is your baby, so,
Ms. Mayor, it's good to see you're doing well.
thank you.
Vice Mayor, councilors. So I'm here to update on the ordinance and initiative as a whole. I will primarily be talking about the police department's role in the initiative and what the numbers have told us so far. I will touch on the other aspects as well, though, just to keep you up to date. As a refresher, when we're assessing the hotels and how they are doing in reference to their police calls for service, we take all the calls that a hotel, an individual hotel has had during the year. Then we take out anything that is self-initiated. So if an officer initiates a pedestrian check, vehicle check, we take those calls out, alarm calls, anything that doesn't have a police nexus to it. If someone has a heart attack, that call is not going to count against the hotel. If someone has an overdose on drugs, that call would. So we have to assess those calls. After we take out all the non-applicable calls, we take the remaining calls, divide it by the number of rooms in that specific hotel. That's what gives us our ratio. We do that so that it's fair for the hotels, whether they're 30 rooms or 200 rooms, it's still going to be, it's all relative. So thank you, sir. When we're doing the assessment, we're shooting for a number of 0.6. So in other words, 0.6 applicable police calls for service per room. We want less than 1 call per room, obviously, during the course of that year. This is the reference year that you're looking at here. So this was about a year and a half before the ordinance was brought into existence. These numbers are what told us, hey, we've got a problem and we need to address it. We need to find a way to address it. If you look there, you'll see that 8 of the 14 were over that 0.6. 5 were over a 1.0, and the highest call, if you'll go back, please. The highest call was a 4.1, meaning at that hotel, they had over 4 calls for every room of that hotel during the course of the year. And that's applicable. That's taking out the ones that didn't necessarily involve the police department. So certainly was alarm bells were ringing. So during the first year, the current year, so this is the second full year of data, in comparison to what you just looked at, only 2 of the 14 hotels were over a 0.6. So we've gone down from 8 down to only 2, and notably, they were only slightly over. So none of them were over a 1.0. And the highest was a 0.7. Now that 0.7 is the same hotel that was a 4.1, same hotel. And in the course of 2 years since the institution of the initiative, they've brought it down. They're still over the 0.6 we're shooting for, but they don't have a lot of rooms in that hotel, so every single call makes a more significant impact on their numbers. But in reference to that hotel, not only have they dropped from 4.1 to 0.7, but I talked to our patrol division, I talked to guys in our Special Investigations Division, and they have gotten complete cooperation from the ownership and management at that hotel. Anything that they need, if they want to look at the guest registry, it's provided to them. If they see something that's going on, they'll call and notify them so that they can further investigate it. So that's exactly the type of cooperation we're looking for. Next slide. So total calls, now this is total applicable calls. Again, we've taken out the ones that don't belong. 605 was the reference year that we used to when we first started to quantify. The first full year of the initiative, it dropped from 605 down to 295, and then this most recent year, it was 259. So it is creeping down even from that huge drop. Over the 2 years, if you use the 605 as a benchmark and deduct the calls that we have, there's a decrease of 656 significant police calls for service during those 2 years.
Wow.
So I'm happy with that. Obviously, we've still got work to do, but it shows that they're taking things seriously and they're seeing the benefits of their efforts. Additional considerations. And I talked about, when I came before this council before, I talked about the unintended consequences of the ordinance and how it really highlighted some potential liabilities that we were able to address and now don't have those liabilities for the city. This was something that, again, wasn't something that I really thought about when we brought this into existence. But we've had at least 4 of the hotels to renovate in the last 2 years. So they see the benefit in putting their money into their business, into our community. So that's good to see. Obviously having a lot of positive benefits. And then 2 more hotels are scheduled for a $1.2 million renovation in the very near future and rebranding. These 2 hotels they share the same physical address, mailing address. They're connected by like a breezeway. They are incorporated separately, so they count as 2 hotels. We look at them separately, but they were initially one hotel. They will go back to one hotel, and they will be a Ramada.
Okay.
So after the $1.2 million renovation, the management company for those 2 hotels, and they were 2 of our kind of problem hotels, if you will, over the last year that we had some rises in numbers, some higher numbers from those 2. They recognized it. Not only are they going to reinvest in the hotel, they brought in a manager from the Atlanta area who is like the Winston Wolf of hotel managers. She does not play. And just since she got there, the numbers have dropped drastically. She's been great to work with. She's even offered hotel rooms for our street crimes unit to do undercover stings if they want to use them. So great cooperation from them. The one negative thing, I hate to leave you on a negative, but the one negative thing I would say is that we have had some complaints back and forth. The city side, the frustration from fire department and code enforcement having to do multiple re-inspections to gain compliance. From the hotel side, it was, well, we didn't know about it. We weren't informed, so it's a communication issue. As soon as that was brought up in a recent quarterly hotelier meeting, Michaela Barton jumped all over it. She has started to streamline that process, the notification process to the hoteliers, the fire department, life safety inspections, and code enforcement inspections. Now they can schedule those in advance, the hoteliers can, so they know exactly what day they're coming to do those. They can have the right person, the manager, the owner, whoever, walk the property and get that information. So hopefully that will really curb the time needed to get the compliance from them. To that end, I would like to say, anytime we work with someone outside our department, there is a level of trepidation. We know that we're squared away. We don't always trust that everyone else is. But from the very beginning of this whole initiative, every single person I've worked with from all the other departments in the city has been fantastic. Lori Hill, I mentioned, she was awesome, instrumental in getting this up and running. Michaela Barton now with the TED team. Grant Rissler and now Kelly Haver with licensing and permitting have been fantastic, great communicators. Fire marshals, Chris Hughes was the guy initially, and now it's BJ Wild. They have both gone over and above to make sure that these places get re-inspected and re-inspected as needed. And then Paul Bighorse and Valerie over in code enforcement have been wonderful as well. So I can't say that this has been a success and take any credit, because it's all the hard work of those people that have made it a success. And with that, I will entertain any questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I'm just super excited to see this update because, I mean, there were real problems that were going on, and to see that the calls are drastically reduced like that because of us, and they've got to feel more secure and safe, knowing,
ma'am.
and I mean, the very fact that they're going to reinvest and update their, you know, their places, and it'll probably generate more revenue for them as well, and so it's just a perpetual.
Yep.
positive
I can
cycle.
tell you, I went into it with some skepticism as to a couple of the hotels with the benchmarks that we were requiring. I don't know
They
if
can
they're
get
going to,
there,
and they did.
Yeah.
And a lot of them
Isn't it
have
something when
raised
you raise that
rates.
bar?
They've raised rates and they've maintained occupancy.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, and from the beginning, Officer Pill, I just appreciate you took your time, made sure all your I's were dotted and your T's were crossed, and you really worked with the hoteliers and gave them time to get their things together and to be able to talk to corporate or whoever they needed to talk to.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can tell by the stats how high it was here and how low it is here, even though you may not be exactly where you want to be. I would consider this a success, 100%, because we want to keep our citizens safe, but we also want to keep our visitors safe.
Yeah.
So I know when I was at the PD, people would call me, "What's the safe hotel?" Well, you can't say, "Well, don't stay here," you know, or whatever. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like a rating where all of our hotels are safe, and if there is an issue, we're going to be there when we need to be there. But I applaud you. This is a great job. I know it was a lot of work on you, but just look at the outreach that you did, and now you've got good communications with all the hotels. Thank you for bragging on the rest of the city, the departments too that you work with, because you couldn't have done it without them for sure. But good job.
Yeah.
I like to think that the statistics, the numbers that we quote here, that's at the hotels, right? But the people who are causing the problems, the people who are generating those calls for service, if they're not at the hotels, then they're not outside the hotels in our community. So there may be a much larger impact community-wide.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, sir, for all your efforts with this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Item D is update of general obligation bond for 2026.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Just a quick note that we have our special meeting this Wednesday to begin the review of the projects. I'm looking forward for that meeting, and we have everything in place for the user groups to attend as well as the directors. So we know it's going to be a very informative, engaging Wednesday. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Item 8 is citizens' opportunity to address the council on general topics related to city business or services. No action may be taken on matters under this item. We do have one resident signed up to speak, Valerie Frazier.
Hello.
Hi there.
My name is Valerie Frazier. I live at 506 Fairway Drive in Indian Springs. And the reason I'm here tonight is because of Tuesday this past week, we experienced that weird weather situation with the microburst. This produced a lot of rain in a very short time, and I believe you were all given pictures that I submitted. Our street flooded. Cars were flooded. Yards were flooded. It was an unusual situation. But what's not unusual is that this is a continuing problem that our street has had. And Friday, we had Patrick Wilson with the Stormwater Division Manager. He came out and met with our HOA president and myself. I'm the vice president of our HOA. And we walked our neighborhood. And our drainage system is really, it's overwhelmed at this time. Anytime we get any amount of rain, we're at least curb deep, sometimes even more. The water puddles, the water doesn't move down. I'm out in front of my house sweeping water to the drain. It can't get there. And I know this is not something that can be fixed overnight. But what needs to happen is that we need to find, Patrick said there are some short-term fixes.
Okay.
And we'd like to see some short-term fixes sooner rather than later. And then we know that the Indian Springs Country Club is also having difficulty with the drainage. And this is coming, the water is coming from businesses and building and residents and even new houses and things. It's washing down our way. There's severe erosion on the golf course. It's dangerous in some areas, and they are doing such a great job trying to keep up with it. But we've had yards washed out of landscaping. Our house backs up to the lakes course, and my yard was just, water was running everywhere. Right now we have a ton of sand on our street that's washing down. And the sweeper came by the day after the microburst, which helped matters. But then Saturday after the microburst, here it came again.
Yeah.
And here we were flooded again. So I wanted to just make you all aware that it's a scary situation. We've got cars that were flooded. We've got people that can't get in and out of their homes.
Yeah.
So we just would like to ask, we know that Patrick talked to us about there needing to be studies, there needs to be a bond, and it's a long, drawn-out process. But with the amount of building and everything that's happening in our area, we've got to address this issue sooner rather than later. Okay? Thank you
for bringing
and
this
I
to
know
us.
you came out and saw it.
Yes, I was going to say thank you for being here tonight. Obviously, Mr. Prine reached out to me on last Friday via email. Friday afternoon, I was there. We walked the property, we walked the streets, we walked through the neighborhood, and it is an issue. And that's why I've sent this up to staff, and they are looking at it. We've shared some of these pictures, these videos. I took pictures and videos while I was there. There's areas where there are rocks that are on the side of the road in the landscaping that are getting raised up and washed out into the street due to the amount of water that's coming in. But I assure you that it is being looked into.
And those pictures were taken from me standing on my front porch.
Yes.
So
I spoke to
that's how
Mr. Prine
close
on
the water
Saturday
was
as well.
coming.
So
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you for
thank you
bringing
for
this to our
taking the time to
attention.
come out.
All right. Item 9 is general council business. 9A, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of and authorization to execute a memorandum of understanding with Independent School District Number 3, providing partial funding for school resource officers. And cross Chief.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilors, and Mr. Spurgeon. I'm Lance Arnold, and I'm honored to be your Chief of Police. This item before you tonight is significant for several reasons. First of all, it does mark a potential return for school resource officers to Broken Arrow Public Schools, which I think is noteworthy. The second thing that I think is noteworthy is it's the first time in the SRO program that there's actually an agreement in place that delineates the duties and responsibilities, not only of the school resource officers, but of the police department, the city, and Broken Arrow Public Schools. And it's very clear in what those duties and responsibilities are and what the process is. The third thing that's noteworthy is that we've taken two other agreements. One was the crossing guards, as you mentioned, Mayor, and our facility use agreement, which is for the security staff, safety and security staff to be able to use our training facilities, our range, and things like that, and vice versa for us to be able to use school facilities. And we've combined those, what would normally be three agreements now, into one agreement. And then the final thing I think that's noteworthy is it's a 3-year agreement that does start small but has the potential to then add additional school resource officers in place over the next 2 years. And so it starts the program out and allows us to get that footing, if you will, and almost a reset of what we had before, and start moving in the right direction with adding more school resource officers. And then the final thing, before I take any questions, if you have any, I just have to mention, obviously Mr. Spurgeon's help was instrumental in this, and then Trevor Dennis and his team did a fantastic job getting this over the finish line as well.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions?
I'm glad that everything is laid out black and white to kind of, I think that may have been maybe some of the issues prior.
Misunderstandings and
Yeah, that it's just-
miscommunication.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm glad that our officers are going to be back in a positive way. I know they have to take police action if they need to, but I'm really glad that we've got officers back in the schools that can teach classes or, you know, do prevention things or just have lunch with the students. So I'm really glad to see this, and I'm glad it is laid out so clearly.
Only thing I'd like to add is the chief is correct, is that we didn't have agreement, we do. And if you look at the deliverables in that agreement, that starts off with really what the SRO officers are supposed to do, which you said very eloquently. And at the bottom, it talks about taking police action, and that's the way that we've always wanted it to be. And I know that Chief's going to do a great job of actually administering that to make sure that's where we stay focused. And they've been very cooperative in wanting to bring them back, and so this is a ramping up, and so I appreciate the efforts in getting here and recommend approval.
This may be kind of in the weeds, I hope it's not, but, so will the two school resource officers, will they go to NASRO training and they'll be certified?
Yes, so we actually had several, we had 6 people put in for, if this is approved, that put in, but we're already getting those things into place. Quite a few of them have already been SROs in the past, so they have that training existing. And then we had some in anticipation of that, some that were anticipating putting in for it, attended the most recent state association conference. And so, but that'll be part of their regular training during the summer. You know, they have those conferences at the state level and national level during the summer, and certainly something that we'll send them to.
That's good, thanks.
That's what I was gonna
I was just asking.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Just hang out.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I'd make a motion, we approve the memorandum of understanding with the Independent School District, number 3.
Motion.
I'm trying to make a motion.
Yeah, it's not popping up.
You don't have a button?
It's not popping up for him to click that he made the motion. There you go.
All right.
There you go. It's working now, or at least his was. Justin doesn't have a button.
Who's making the second?
Justin,
I am, but there's no button to actually click to second.
there you go.
See if you guys can vote.
We can.
There's just nothing, there's no options to click the motion up second.
It looked just like this. It didn't. Box.
All right, 9B, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of BAZ 2130-2025 for rezoning. Rocky.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, members of council, Mr. Spurgeon, Rocky Hinkle, Community Development Director. BAZ 2130-2025 is a request to rezone approximately 51 acres from agricultural to RS3 and RS4 single-family residential for County Line Crossing. It's a proposed single-family detached development that's generally located on the northwest corner of 101st and County Line Road. The area requested to be rezoned RS3 is located on the western 34.68 acres, designated as level 2 in the comprehensive plan. The area requested to be rezoned RS4 is located on the eastern 16.25 acres, designated as level 3 in the comprehensive plan. This development will be required to connect to existing substreets in the single-family residential neighborhood to the west. Primary access to the development will be through entrances onto New Orleans and County Line Road. During the meeting, Planning Commission meeting held on May 22nd, 2025, it passed with a 4-0 approval. Staff recommends that BAZ 2130-2025 be approved, subject to plating. During the public comment period, one neighboring resident asked questions about the development but was not in opposition, and one letter was provided to staff from a resident who was opposed to the development, citing traffic concerns and compatibility of surrounding developments. Staff recommends that, per Planning Commission, that you approve BAZ 2130-2025, and I believe there's a representative for the property owner that's here to address any questions you may have.
And the neighborhood to the west? Yeah, Seven Oaks, yeah. What is that zoned? Did you just say that?
It is, zoning is, it's level 2 of the comprehensive plan, so it would be RS2, RS3.
Okay, yeah.
I did receive some emails regarding this, and I was trying to figure out exactly what they were looking at, but they would want to know who the owner was. There was some confusion on the person who emailed part. Let me just look here. It says, city zoning materials listed the real estate broker/agent as owner. After speaking with the owner of that company to find they were no longer with the company, so on and so forth. They were concerned, they said that what they found was it was owned by PSO, but they were, communities asking for full disclosure, re the owner of the 51 acres. I know I sent another email on this, and it was my understanding that it's in the process of being purchased by someone, but there was some question about the ownership of the property.
I'd let the applicant speak to that.
Good evening. My name is Megan Pasco with Tanner Consulting, 5323 South Lewis Avenue. I'm here on behalf of the potential developer, Clara Land Group, in regards to the email that Mr. Green received. The current landowner is PSO, Public Service Company of Oklahoma. They are selling it to the developer, which is Clara Land. I have Mr. TJ Guglielmo. I didn't say his name right, and I've known him for a year and still can't say his name. He's here if you have any questions, and I can answer any questions you guys may have as well.
That was the only thing. I just wanted to put that out. That was the citizen's question, was who was the owner of the property. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any further discussion or questions?
And the planning commission voted 4-0 for this?
That's correct.
And the higher density will be along the county line area, is that right?
Yep, closer to county line, yeah.
Right. Well, I'd make a motion that we approve BAZ 002130-2025 as per staff and planning commission's recommendation.
I'll second it.
They're going to keep the pig farm though, right? Right in the middle of it?
Unfortunately.
I saw that.
Or
I'd see
FFA,
I'd
yeah.
see it go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rocky. Item 9C, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of amended resolution number 1667.
Good evening, Cindy Arnold, Finance Director. The city has adopted and approved the Hackberry Market Economic Development Project by ordinance 3875 on May 6th and had created increment district number 6. Last meeting, resolution 1667 was approved for the funding of this to be a taxable deal. And we are amending resolution 1667 to make it a tax exempt deal. And Nate Ellis is here from Public Law if there's any other questions.
So what are we amending it to now again?
It was a taxable deal, and now it's going to be a tax exempt.
you've got a companion agenda item on the beta agenda as well to amend that. Really, there's two things that we're doing here. To be able to get a better execution on the transaction, we're actually changing underwriters to be okay financial securities will be the underwriter on the deal, and then it'll be done as a tax exempt obligation instead of a taxable. And again, it'll allow us to get a better execution on the transaction.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Further questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve item 25-908.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Roll call. All right, item D, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of an authorization to execute Resolution 1669. Cindy.
And it's the budget time. It's hard to believe the whole year has gone by already. Let me bring up the PowerPoint. I have very short slides. We'll make it quick because you have heard a special meeting on May 22nd and a public hearing was done at last council meeting. The fiscal year 2026 municipal budget. We operate on a fiscal year which starts July 1st and ends June 30th. FY 2026 proposed municipal budget this year is $454,499. It was a little bit higher when we did the workshop and the public hearing, but we found a couple of projects, about $1.8 million that were in two different funds that really needed to be just in one. So we removed those. It's a 3.85% decrease over last year. And one of the main reasons is we have completed a lot of projects this year and our capital is not as high. The breakdown, the operational is $181 million. It's 9.49 over previous years. Capital outlay is $230 million, which is 13.62 decrease over the previous years, just for the reason I said we've done a lot of projects and we've completed a lot of projects. And the debt service is 10.1% over last year, which is the new bond issues that we are planning on and have done in the past. So the total is $454,499. The general fund is $153 million, includes expenditures, transfers out, and ending fund balance. It's an overall 1.67% of increase of last year, where we were at $151 million. Broken Arrow Municipal Authority budget is $177,237,000, which includes expenditures, transfers out, ending fund balance, capital outlay, and debt service. Last year, the 2025 BAMA budget was $200 million, and another reason is we've completed a lot of the OWRB loans, so they've really moved very quickly this year, which is nice. Overall decrease of 11.66% from last year. There's a 35% decrease in capital outlay and 8.36% increase in operating cost. The City of Broken Arrow's municipal budget process serves as a blueprint for the following purpose: review and confirm the priorities of local government, determine our service levels based on those priorities, thoroughly plan our program for work for the implementation within operations over the fiscal year. 4 key budgeting practices: focus on long-term financial sustainability, estimate revenues and expenditures conservatively, which we did. We based on some the revenues as historic and sales tax, we did a slight increase because, as you can see, the monthly report, sales tax is not coming in as strong. Ensure all funds balanced and included built-in contingencies for the unexpected. The city's vision, mission, and opportunities that will be accomplished through our top 6 priorities, which is public safety, service, and community well-being. Economic development, focusing on growth and prosperity. Innovative municipal government operations. Fiscal sustainability and strategic public investment. Transformational initiatives that help maintain a thriving and healthy community. And transparency and communications. As you can see, the little pie chart that we have for FY26 budget, One of the largest ones is personnel services, besides the debt service and capital outlay. Well, capital outlay is the largest, obviously. And the recap is proposed FY 2026 budget is for $454,499. It represents a 3.85 decrease over FY 25. The spending plan represents the funding needed to provide the services and capital projects needed to maintain the great quality of life in Broken Arrow. Is there any questions? If there's any questions, staff recommends authorizing Resolution 1669 for the FY 26 budget.
We do have, okay, go ahead.
I just want to point out the council members, if I can. So, in the process of developing the budget, we also always look at the manual of fees. Manual of fees, every year, we look at what fees that the city charges for user services, but those a proposed recommendation on any changes to the manual fees, which also includes the utilities. When council adopts the budget, you don't automatically adopt the manual of fees. The manual of fees is actually a process that takes place after the budget, and could be in July or August, depending on scheduling. In this case, I want to make a point because there was inaccurate reporting on the television and the news stations that the budget tonight included utility rate increases of certain amounts based on what has been recommended per the 5-year rate model. Well, whenever you make this decision tonight, it does not include any changes in the current utility rates. That will come. There's a special meeting next month. Council will consider that. You may take action that time. You may approve what's recommended. You may come back and ask staff to do some additional investigation in terms of the rates. And then when all that's done, then the manual of fees will be placed on an agenda item for you all to approve that, which include not only the utilities, but also fees that the fire department charges for services, community development specifically, solid waste, and many, many others. So, but I just want to distinguish that because it was reported inaccurately that tonight's approval was going to include the utility rate increase, and it does not.
Thank you for adding that. All right, we do have one person signed up to speak on this item, Sebastian Stevens.
Looks like he stepped out.
Okay, well, do you have it? I don't, do we have to call 3 times?
It's not necessary.
Okay. Is there a
I
motion?
would like to make a comment before we make a motion, in that I've sat through quite a few budget times, and this city manager, I know he's heard me brag on him before, but it's like a lesson each time, each year. So you think a city councilman's elected and they know all this stuff, but I'm telling you, they don't. So each year as we go over this,
For yourself, Johnny.
as the staff makes our presentations, we know where the money comes from and goes for the most part. But as far as down to the details and where the commas go and the periods, it's a learning process. So they do an excellent job, and the city manager does a good job of informing everybody. So again, I appreciate this budget process each year because I learn from it each year.
Yeah. Thank you, Johnny.
And I'd make,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
you go ahead. Go
I'll
ahead.
make a motion for approval.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
All right. Item E, consideration, discussion, and possible approval to award the lowest responsible bid to Magnum Construction for the construction of the Rose District parking lot at Commercial on Ash.
Mayor.
Charlie Bright.
We didn't get your vote. There we go. Thank you.
There it is.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, Mr. Spurgeon. My name is Charlie Bright. I'm the Director of Engineering Construction. Before you tonight, it's a project that Shannon Marshall, our Special Projects Division Manager, updated you guys on, not this one right now. Updated you guys on probably a couple meetings ago, talk about the bid process of the parking lot in the downtown area of the Rose District. So we bid the project. It's there at the corner intersection of Commercial and Ash, as Mr. Spurgeon and Norm Stevens worked on trying to get us that lot in that northwest portion of the Rose District to add parking for the Rose District in a more variety area. It's a small lot. We're able to add 17 spots. for we feel like a pretty good value. So we got 4 bidders. Magnum Construction was our low bidder, who also did the work on the parking lot on the other side of the Rose District for us, so we felt really comfortable with that. The number was $276,443, and we are recommending award. Happy to answer any questions you guys have.
There were like new bidders I'd never even seen before on this one.
Yeah, I mean, they come and go, it seems a little bit, but, we're happy, we don't really have a true opinion, I guess. It's always low bidder and qualified, but happy to work with Magnum because they've shown a repeat effort of doing a good job for us.
Sure.
So,
For a great rate, too.
I'll make a motion to approve project number 2417280.
The motion
I'll second that motion.
and a second. Roll call.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item F, consideration, discussion, and possible approval to award the lowest responsible bidder, Paragon Contractors. Travis Smalls.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, City Manager. Travis Small with Engineering Construction Department. I'm glad to be here tonight to discuss the possible action and award of the Aspen and Jasper intersection project. But before I go into that, I would like to give you a little bit of an update on the Aspen project in general, from Jasper all the way to Tucson. Staff is currently working to work out all the details in order to advertise and bid the Tucson intersection a mile north of there, hopefully later this year to early next year. We're working through some of those details right now. After that, we're also looking to advertise the mile section in between Jasper and Tucson as soon as possible. Hopefully by the time those 2 intersection projects are wrapping up, we'll have that one advertised to bid also. Just want to give you a little bit of update. Excuse me. Back in late May, we advertised the Aspen and Jasper intersection project for bids. We have received 4 bids, and the apparent low bidder is Paragon Construction with a total bid of $2,373,118.11. This project does include mill and overlay from Shreveport to Jasper, leading into Indian Springs Sports Complex, and reconstruction or improvements and widening of the intersection at Jasper. Happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions or discussion? Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve 25-801.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Thank you.
Item G, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of and authorization to execute agreement for professional consultant services with Garver LLC. Charlie Bright.
Good evening again, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members, Mr. Spurgeon. I'm Charlie Bright, Director of Engineering Construction. This is an exciting project. We've talked about it for a couple of years now. This is the RAISE grant, now called the BUILD grant. We applied for it for several years, got rejected for several years. We modified that application, got approved probably about a couple of years ago at this point, and then we went through the process to get the acceptance of the agreement or the grant itself with the federal government. I believe probably last summer you guys approved the acceptance of the grant, and then we had to get the contract negotiated with Garver. And so at this point, we're here to actually execute the contract to start the design work on the RAISE grant. It's very significant for Broken Arrow, as you guys know. It includes multimodal transportation throughout the whole Broken Arrow Expressway corridor going through town. It is, probably the key parts that most people in the community care about. It's reconstruction. It is the design and planning of the reconstruction for the Elm and Lynn Lane corridors, potentially new interchanges at both, getting on and off the highway, and widening those roads, bridges, everything associated. But it's really
51st.
What's that?
And 51st.
Yes. And as I say, moving further over to 51st, then it's the intersection there at 51st and Aspen and 51st Street going north as far as to the Broken Arrow border. But it's also more than that. It's sidewalk paths down Aspen, down Kenosha, back in the Hillside Drive area, and then going out further east, and then also multimodal paths going up north to Nienhuis. So it's really a whole look at the transportation in that part of town. I will caution, we talked about it in videos as well that I think will be posted on Facebook. This isn't a fast process. These are really big capital projects that take 5 to 10 years
to work through, and we're at that first step, but it's exciting that we're starting that step. So this contract is with Garver. We did go through a whole selection process. A lot of great firms were interested in this, but we felt really comfortable with Garver, and we've negotiated the scope, and the total contract is for, I want to make sure I don't get this number wrong. The total contract is for $6,274,918. But it is a federal grant that is an 80-20 match. So the city of Broken Arrow's portion of it is only $1,254,984. This allows us to do all the planning for what that work will look like. It also allows us to do the design work up to a 60% set of design documents. The anticipation is when we get to that 60% level, we'll apply for the next federal grant, build grant at that time, hopefully help get more money to finish the design and start getting those construction dollars. So happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Questions, discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve project number ST24140.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you all.
We have a motion and a second. All right. Item 10 is preview ordinances. 10A, consideration, discussion, and possible preview of ordinance number 3880. Trevor.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Mr. Spurgeon, the preview ordinance before you allows for the city manager to designate certain parking locations as reserved parking. It also provides for notifications that would provide for towing in the event that an unauthorized vehicle would park there. This would next meeting.
Question, and it's popping up now. I couldn't get it to pop up at home, but so is this for
City Hall?
Okay. And it's really, I mean, it's not like the city councilors are going to have like reserved parking. It
No.
would be more like staff
Yes.
will have city park, reserved parking, and that makes a lot of sense for sure. Okay.
Do you have problems with other people parking there?
Yes, Vice Mayor, almost on a daily basis.
Oh, really? I figured they'd know that was, you know what I mean, for City Hall.
Where there are signs there. Unfortunately, they ignored the signs. And as businesses picked up on the west side of the alley, there seems to be more and more people park over there. And the only way to take any enforcement, we have to amend the ordinance, amend the code to be able to allow for that.
Okay, all right.
I'll make a motion to, what's the preview?
Separate,
We
yeah.
don't do anything yet. Okay.
Set for adoption.
Yeah. Set for adoption.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it if I get it.
He'll get you. Curtis is having a good do it for us.
All right.
Way
We
to
have a
go,
motion and a
Curtis.
second.
Except for we vote. He's not voting
Yeah,
for us.
he's not voting for it. All right. Item 11, ordinances. 11A, consideration, discussion, and possible adoption of ordinance number 3879. Trevor Dennis.
Thank you, Mayor. As you may recall, at the last city council meeting, we previewed a commercial air permitting for helicopters. And we had the proprietor of the helicopter services here. Essentially what it does is it streamlines the process so that they can get a permit, the landowner in Broken Arrow can get the permit after proper notification on the land that they would be issuing permits to do their air tours. I believe one of the examples they had was a extravaganza, and they had to make multiple runs over to Tulsa to accomplish that. So this is just the final portion of that. This would just make it for final adoption, and there's also a subsequent emergency clause for your consideration.
Okay. I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 3879.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
I'll also make a motion for the emergency clause to pass on ordinance number 3879.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call when we're able. Thank you, sir. All right, remarks and inquiries by governing body members. Just a reminder, we have Taste of Summer this Saturday from 9 to 3. Come out for the ice cream at Central Park. And then the block party, we won't have council again before the block party, so that's in New Orleans Square on the 27th and the 28th. Great music, lots of vendors, Kids Zone. All of our departments will touch truck, all that fun stuff will be out there. So
Hopefully we'll be able to have Tuesdays in the park tomorrow night.
Yes, hopefully.
Oh, sorry about that. But I I thought I heard we're, at least the first week, they're gonna push it on to the
July,
first.
yeah, July 1st we'll
Have we heard anything about the second week of July?
yet.
If they were, okay.
They pushed what?
So the first Tuesdays in the park was rained out, and so they pushed back a week,
Okay.
and so, unless you've heard.
No.
Do you know about the second week? Okay.
Anyone else have any remarks?
We also have the luau on Saturday night for the senior center, and I do believe there are tickets still available. And there's actually a Facebook event that you can go, or if anyone wants some tickets and need to know how to purchase them,
Yeah.
they can contact me.
It's the second annual, and you do come in your luau attire. You may get called up to do a luau dance. I did. I won't be doing that this year. But it was really fun, and it was out at the community center park, or pool, so it was really fun. So, all right, city manager?
I do, Mayor. 2 items. I want to thank the council members for their support of passing the budget. It's a lot of time and effort on your part, and I'm very grateful for the putting in that time and effort, and now asking all the great questions, and also to publicly thank the directors and their staffs for the assistance in helping put the budget together. And then most importantly, the finance team. Not only is the book heavy and a lot of lifting, there's a lot of lifting beyond that. I do want to share with you something that you are aware of, and I just want to make sure that I bring it up, is that it was brought to my attention, unfortunately, there was an inadvertent disclosure of private information of about 125 individuals through one of our portals that I found out earlier this month. And I just want to let the council know is that the problem with the portal has been taken care of and resolved. And secondly, is that it was inadvertent. It was not intentional. Our IT team jumped on it quickly, had to isolate the situation, and spent a number of days and many hours making sure that there weren't any other issues with our system, and that we will be notifying the folks that were affected and offer them credit monitoring, just as we did when we had the outside vendor several years ago had an issue with the portal. So we are taking responsibility for this. It was human error, and I'm very comfortable, and it was brought to my attention by a citizen, and we've acknowledged that citizen, appreciated his letting us know. But I only feel compelled, other than telling the council about it, is to contact those people that actually were directly affected. So that's all I have.
Thanks for taking a quick action. We have no executive session, so entertain a
I
motion.
make a motion, we step away from this meeting.
I'll second that. But we're gonna have to stay here because we have
Yes,
two
we
more meetings.
cannot step away.
Step away.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All right, call the Broken Arrow Municipal Authority meeting to order. Are there any items to be removed from the consent? Oh, just kidding. Roll call. So sorry. Just moving right along.
Pickle.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Parks.
Here.
Wimpy.
Here. Okay. Any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a
See
second.
if your buttons are working now,
No.
please. Oh,
We still have no boxes.
No working buttons.
all right. So I'm sorry. Who made that motion?
Lisa.
And who
I
made
second it.
second? Thank you.
All right. Item 6 is general authority business. 6A, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the proposed fiscal year 2025-2026 financial plan for the Broken Arrow Municipal Authority.
No
City
PowerPoint. No.
Yeah.
The proposed fiscal year 26 financial plan was presented at the City Council at a special meeting on May 22nd. A public hearing was done on June 2nd, and City Council earlier adopted Resolution 1669, adopting the proposed FY 25-26 fiscal year budget for the city. The financial plan for the Broken Arrow Municipal Authority was included in the document that was adopted by the City Council. Broken Arrow Municipal Authority's budget is $154,386,464. Staff is recommending approving the fiscal year Broken Arrow Municipal Authority financial plan.
Any discussion?
just to reiterate, it does not include any rate increases until till further notice after review the manual of fees.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve item A 25-860.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call. Remarks by governing body members. I forgot to mention, just a huge thank you to everyone who reached out this week, and people bring food, and I had a surgery this week, and it's been a really great recovery. I did not sit still very well. That was the hardest part, but I feel great. It's going to be great. So thank you. Just thank everyone for reaching out. So anyone else?
We're glad you're recovering well.
Thank you. Commander.
I have nothing, ma'am.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
A motion and a second. There we go. All right, call the Broken Arrow Economic Development
Still
Authority.
need votes from
What?
Councilor Parks.
Got it.
There we go.
I was already moved on.
All right, call the Broken Arrow Economic Development Authority to order. Roll call.
Excuse me. Pickle.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Parks.
Here.
Wimpy.
Here. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
A motion and a second. Roll call. There are no public hearings, appeals, presentations, recognitions, or awards. Item 6, general authority business. 6A, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the third amendment of the Economic Development Agreement by and among the Broken Arrow Economic Development Authority, the City of Broken Arrow, and PDG Broken Arrow. Jennifer Rush.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Trustees, City Manager. Jennifer Rush, Economic Development Director for the city, and I'm very excited to be able to bring this amendment to you, as well as the developer, to speak on the status of the development. So this is the third amendment for the Adams Creek Town Center. So this is the 22 acres just to the east of Lowe's. And this amendment, there's no cost to the city for this, and the developer can kind of talk about the progress of this. This drops the square footage from the original 160,000 square foot to 130,000 square feet. And those are the tenants that they have right now to be able to fill the space. As mentioned, there's no cost to the city, and very excited because if you've driven by there, you will see that there's dirt moving. And so I've asked Mr. Bob Martin from Parks Development Group to come and provide this body with an update of where we're at. And just want to say it's been a pleasure working with this group. I hope they continue to want to do more projects in Broken Arrow. I feel like they have our same values as transparency and collaboration and working together. And so we will hopefully, if it can dry up, we will have a groundbreaking pretty soon, and they can get some more work done. So with that, Bob Martin.
It was definitely exciting to see the dirt moved when I drove by there the other day, so.
Or the mud moved?
The mud moved, yeah.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager. I wish all the staff, Norm. I'm not a very good speaker, so this is going to be really short. One of the reasons that we're requesting this reduction, when we first made the presentation to you all, the total square footage of this center could have been 200,000 square feet. It's now, we lost 105,000 square feet during this process. So we've had to go back and back and back. And I know it's been a long journey for you all. Thank you for sticking with us. But I'll tell you, it's been a heck of a ride for us internally, too. Are we going to do this deal? Can we get it done? Are we going to? And as you know, we have closed on the land. We've started building 3 swimming pools out there. I was out looking at it today. You couldn't drive a car across that thing. Yeah. It is so wet. I know that's not your fault. Y'all have done a great job with your support. We have I think everybody knows by now, but we have Burlington Code, we have Five Below, we have Shoe Encore, we have Books A Million, we have Beals, we have Kids Encore, we have a swim club, Goldfish Swim Club coming, and we have a nail salon, we've got Katrina Fresh, and we probably have 30 other people since we've started construction. That was the thing that holds everybody back. When are you going to start? So I do appreciate it very much. We might get one other tenant to come to the table, and we would have room to do it with a little remodeling of the site plan and our plans. We're waiting on Lowe's to approve it or turn it down. We'll find out probably next week. We do plan a groundbreaking on, I think it's the 26th of this month. But I don't know where anybody will stand, so I'll go ahead and talk to Lowe's again, see if we can have the groundbreaking in their paid parking lot, I guess. So that's about it. I do appreciate, and by the way, so things have really changed since the last time I was here. Y'all were in different seats except for the mayor, maybe vice mayor. I'm going, no, Linda, Lisa, you're still in the same seat. So there have been some changes, so if we can all get rain to stop, but
If
thanks
you figure
for
out how to
having us.
do that, you let us know, because we
Yeah,
would love
right.
that.
We're having it everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're having it in Tennessee also. We're a 45-year-old construction company besides being a development company. So we have a site work group, and then we have the building group, and then we have our development group. Guys, it is raining everywhere, and nobody sees the delay except the tenant. We have one tenant out there. If I don't deliver their space on the day that we say we're going to, it's a $150,000 penalty, day one. So weather affects us greatly, and we were late to begin with. So, but anyway, thank you so much. I can't tell you. I think I might have told the city manager. So I've built in 17 or 18 states over 50 years. I won't ever go back to Norman, Oklahoma. The city council meetings go on until 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. And I won't go back to Oklahoma City because that's where I met my wife. So,
She could see this.
She loves it. She would love to move back to Oklahoma. That is a fact. But so this weather thing has just got all of us behind. But thanks for hanging in with us and having the patience and having the courage. I was going to say, this is the best city council that I've ever addressed and been associated with in 50 years. And that's not a joke. It's not a, trying to rub feathers or anything. It's the truth. What you all do for your community, outstanding.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be putting that on our website.
Wonderful, thank you.
There's a fight for the motion.
I know, right? Right. All right, well, who wants to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve item 25826.
You should have a voting button now.
Oh, there's a button. We do have a button. I clicked it too, because that's habit.
So you turned them on. That's good.
Thanks, Curtis.
It's amazing what a click of the mouse will do.
Motion approved. All right, item B is consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the proposed fiscal year financial plan for Broken Arrow Economic Development Authority. Cindy?
This is the same. This is the financial plan for the Broken Arrow Economic Development for $14,350,000 and $210. This was approved it was included in the budget that was approved by City Council.
Okay.
So staff is recommending the approval of the fiscal year 2026 Broken Arrow Economic Development Authority Financial Plan.
Any discussion or questions?
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call. All right. Item C is consideration, discussion, and possible approval of amended resolution number 1666. I don't like
This
that
is the
number.
same item that we had on the City Council, except this is amending Resolution 1666, which the Broken Arrow Economic Development Authority approved at last council meeting. This is amending the resolution for it to be a non-tax, tax exempt bond issue versus a taxable, and changing the underwriters to be okay. Staff is recommending approval of the amended resolution number 1666.
So move.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call. Any remarks by governing body members?
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Somebody broke it.
I don't know. It wasn't me. Any remarks? City manager?
None, Madam Chair.
We have no executive session.
I'll make a motion to adjourn and go watch a ball game.
Second?
Yeah. I gotta
Third.
put my hat on.
We've lost connection to the server, so I have to take this vote.
You sent an email about an hour
Old
before the
school.
meeting, 2 hours
Pickle?
before the meeting
Yes.
today.
Green,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Wimpy.
Yeah, I didn't,
Yes.
I
We're
didn't see
adjourned.
him leave, but he was gonna bring up the public disclosure tonight. I was pretty empty. You know what I mean?
It happens. It's worked out.